So a few weeks ago, I actually made a major life decision to get baptized again. Well, before I got baptized, I made the decision to actually submit to God and submerge myself in His presence and be obedient and loyal to Him and His word. And just, He's always spoken to me. It's just a thing of listening and being patient and, being loving towards those words. So where I'm at right now is, in my redefining, there was an opportunity presented by my church to get baptized. And I've been baptized before, but I've just realized that this baptism was so different for me because it was really a redefining of my life. It was a reviving of my life and a revolutionizing of my spirituality and my walk with Christ. So in this decision, I wanted to really come to terms with who I was in Christ. And I had a lot of journeying to do and processing to do in that. So I actually want you guys to watch this video of 2 days before I got baptized on August 26th. So watch this and I get back with you guys. Okay, so I wanted to get on here today and just talk to you guys about a word that I got from God. So in my life, God is doing a redefining and just, a redefining of my life. And in this shift and in this change and in this new thing that God is doing, I was asking God, please, give me guidance, give me a sign, speak to me, talk to me and lead me into what I'm supposed to do next. Okay, now what's next, basically. And in the midst of this, right, because I've been very, very peaceful lately. I've been redecorating my home. I've been, making my home into a place that I just don't want to leave, a place that is serene and peaceful, a place that, I don't want to invite people in that were negative energies that I was inviting before. And I feel different. I feel new. And in this piece, I've been listening to motivational sermons online. I've been listening to podcasts and I've been reading my books and I've just been, writing. So in all of this, I'm like, God, please, speak to me. Tell me what's next. I'm waiting. What's next? Sometimes I can't just sit still. Sometimes I need direction. I need to know what to do next. So in this, I'm not hearing God's voice and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm hanging up wallpaper and stuff. So as I'm hanging up this wallpaper, I hear God's voice to go back to my prayer journals where I write all of the words that I get from God, all of my prayers that I pray, and just difficult things and different things that happen in my life that I write and I sort through my writing. So as hanging this wallpaper, I get this word, it's the same. I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told you before. So go read your journal. So I sit down, I get both of my journals. I have 2 journals and I open both of them up and I go all the way back to 2020 when I had my spiritual awakening, and God is saying, all of these lines in there. I put, different phrases that God, spoke to me at different times. And I was reading it and I just began to cry because I'm like, wow, this pertains to my life right now. The diary entries that I was writing at those specific times, 2020, 2021, they pertain to my life right now. A prophetic word that I ignored or that I tucked away and I kind of just put to the side, because back then I wasn't ready. I didn't, have any direction in my life. I didn't know what step to take next, but God was telling me what steps to take next, but I felt unqualified in taking those steps. So I kind of just tucked that, away, that journal. So now that I'm here and I'm reading and I'm learning, I'm like, wow, God, you said that this would happen and it came to pass. You told me that, and now here I am. And in turn, I am enwrapped in this past of not being who I needed to be then, but now I am who I needed to be now. So God is taking me on this journey, and it's really late right now, you guys. It's like 12 a.m. I wanted to, get that out before I go to sleep. I'm going to talk to you guys more about this. But right now, my spirit, I need to meditate. I need to pray. And I need to be with the Lord. And I need a good night's sleep. Now, where I'm at, after the baptism and just, this journey that I'm going on with Christ, is I feel good. I'm still in that place of redecorating my home. It's a lot more decorated now, so I'm a lot happier with it. It's feeling like, it's feeling really good. This time last year, I was having troubles with renewing my lease, and I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in my old place. And now this year, I am actually, I had a little bit of PTSD, and I had to come to terms with, wait a minute, Jana, you're walking with Christ. Because the devil, he tries to attack us through our thoughts. So in turn, we really have to be humble, and we really have to be soaked in Christ, and we really have to be tied to Christ, because when it comes to our thoughts and when it comes to our anxiety and depression and all of this, because I've struggled with this throughout the years, make sure you have a good support system around you, and you have those connections of people that, you don't have to always, tell them your problems and stuff, but just people that will lift you up in prayer and will be there for you, just, a loving support system. I am actually learning that, because I didn't get it the first time around. It was just my faith was shaky. It was not always fully committed. And when you lean on God, and when you trust God, and when you ask him for things as, your spiritual father, you really have to, come to him. And I like to say, have a childlike mind. Children, they believe their parents. They believe, oh, if they ask their parent a question about something, they just accept the answer. So as an adult, it can be hard to, just accept an answer for what it is without thinking the what ifs. You know what I mean? So I really had to strengthen my faith to come back to like a childlike acceptance of Christ, and saying like, even though, that answer is far-fetched, or even though, I don't see how that's possible, I had to come to a reckoning that God is higher than I am, and that God is all-knowing, and that God works behind the scenes and pulls strings, and everything comes together in the end. And so that's what I had to come to terms with. And I have been, learning something new about myself, learning something new about, reading the Bible, and just being accepting and being open and being receptive, and asking God for wisdom, asking God for understanding. And I feel like I have strength now because of all the struggles that I've been through. But I still ask God every day to strengthen me yet the more, because as long as you're living, you never stop learning. And I'm breathing right now. So, you guys just trust in the Lord. You know, God gave you his breath, and you know, God gave you not only just breath, but he gave you his breath. So it's kind of like, you know, what are you going to do with his breath? You know, keep living, keep spreading, you know, the positive word, and look at your success process, and you stay blessed. Okay. And I will talk to you guys another day. Oh, here's my little puppy. I got a new little puppy.